Hello and okay, it's on. Hello and welcome to the next episode of I don't even have a name. Hi and welcome to the second episode of my podcast. My name is Natalia. I am currently living in Germany, but I'm Peruvian. And today's episode literally is about migration. Currently one of my friends, actually one of my best friends that I've made since I came to Germany is moving to my city. She hasn't lived in Germany, but I met her because of a job, and she's currently living in Netherlands, but she's moving here to Munich. And I just said the city where I live. Whatever. She's moving here, and I'm so excited because like she will live here, and we will be able to do so many things because we've been like basically virtual friends. We've just met sometimes during the year when I went to Netherlands or when she's come because of the job or things like this. So there's never been a time where each of us have lived in the city of the other one, and I'm so excited that she's coming to live here that you have no idea. I have so many plans for us both, and we are always talking about that because we even are also very compatible when it comes to making business. So like it's like a job, but also like like also exercise, and also like I don't know, like pretty like beauty things, and also like I don't know, many different things that I'm so excited. I already want her to come. She will also like spend my birthday with me because other friends will travel during my birthday because my birthday is in summer here. So I'm really excited for that. But when we were talking about like the job situation, because she's coming because of a job, the job situation and everything related to that, then I came to this point where I started thinking about my friends here. And the downside, or like the sad part of having friends here and having friends once you immigrate to another country, when you like move to another country. And I think it kind of puts me in this like uncertainty position that I kind of feel sad about. And I'm saying this because also I made a friend on the running club I like to run. And this friend's so sweet. She's really sweet. And she's moving to Berlin. Like, she's not moving from Germany, but she's moving to Berlin. And it made me feel so sad because I feel like every time I'm making a new friend, they are not staying for a lot of time. Or if they do, it's at least like limited time. Like, they are not projecting themselves staying here for the long term. And it kind of sucks because when I choose someone to be my friend, when I choose someone who I can be vulnerable with, I really give my 100%, and I also get so attached to these people because quality of relationships to me, quality of friendships to me are so important that the fact of knowing that them at some point will end up leaving, it breaks my heart. And like I know that it's at the end something that they might have to do because it's like the path of their lives, but it breaks my heart. And like I also know how that feeling of like someone you really care about leaving actually like feels. I could see through the eyes of my best friend in Peru, through the eyes of my sister in Peru, like people that love me and having to letting me go to follow my dreams and to follow my path of like living abroad and making a life in a different country with a different culture, with a different language. um it really hurts, but it's also part of like loving, letting people go. And currently I think I'm questioning myself a lot about the friendships I have here because not all of them are like 100% sure that they will stay in this country slash city. And it kind of sucks because, as I said, like, it's my personality. I'm not the type of person who has 100 friends, and is super popular and like hangs out with a lot of people. No, people drain me because people can be very, very stressful. They can be very I want to punch them on the face, especially if they are men. So like um I don't have a lot of friends, but the ones that I have, I really, really love them and appreciate them, and I would really like them to be forever in my life. And them moving and then them not being able to stay in this city doesn't mean that I will just immediately not be friends with them anymore ever. But it changes the dynamics, especially when friends sometimes, like, there are a lot of type of friends, and some type of friends, they are not really into social media communication, so you really have to, like, go out with them in order to have a relationship, in order to have a friendship, because if you don't do that, you never will know ever something about them. And having, like, international friends, it's really nice. You learn a lot about different cultures. Actually, part of the immigration process is that not all of the time you will make friends, like local friends. Majority of times, you being international, the first friends you will make literally will be internationals, because they also know and they feel the same way that you do, because they are going through the same shit. So literally, like, the fact that I got so close to so many people that are always moving because of job reasons, but we ended up, like, by coincidence in the same country, the same city, and experiencing each other as friends. It's like, it's amazing, it's a blessing, but it's also so sad thinking of the possibility that they might at the end go. And it's making me question a lot about migration, like about moving abroad, because on paper, especially when you come to a country like mine, I come from Peru, and in my country, once you leave abroad, once you move, once you leave the country, and especially if you go to a first world country, it's so romanticized, it's so idealized. Like, people there think that once you do this, it's not only that you're brave and you do stuff, but it's also like, oh my god, your life immediately, it's better. Like, literally, this is the concept. And actually, when you do it, and I say from experience because I'm an immigrant, when you like take this step and follow your dreams and go to a country that, because being rich and because of many reasons, has many much more, like, opportunities, and also quality of life and benefits that unfortunately my country does not have. It's nice, but it's it's the thing, it's the process, it's hard, especially if you don't speak the language, if you're going just with English in my case, especially if you, like, have to prove constantly yourself, because, like, the world, when you're not local, is kind of cruel sometimes. And going through this process, besides being the most challenging process I've go through in my life, literally, um and besides teaching me a lot, it also makes you question yourself a lot about how you manage your life without being all the time around the people that you love. Because you have on one side people from your country, your family, your sister, your cousins, like the family, your friends from life that you know since you're like 4 years old. And on the other side, you have your new friends that might potentially at some point, if they don't find a job, or if they don't see themselves in here, or if they, I don't know, like, miss their families so much that they at some point might leave, that then you think and you're like, is it really worth it to stay? Like, am I able to stay in this country? Am I able to do it without a really stable and big support system like I do in my country? Like, is it like what's the weight on the goals that I have for myself in a professional side, but what's the weight I have on my relationship side, on my family side, on the importance of that? What are the expectations I have? Because also it depends in the expectations I have. I mean, it also depends which country you move to, because it's so different if you move to US, and it's so different if you move to Germany, it's so different if you move to Australia or to Japan. Like, each country has different culture, behaviors, I don't know, customs, or, like, I don't know, things. that you really need to be very clear on what you're looking for in life. For example, if you would like to really go like and be the most successful business person and like make so much money, I wouldn't recommend Europe in general because there are so many taxes you have to pay, there are so many things that you have to do, and I wouldn't recommend it at all. But if you really want a quality of life, like your health being like fair for everyone in good quality and not having to be in debt because you got sick or you had an accident, you know what I'm saying? Or if you want like a work balance life, or you want, I don't know, more of like for you it's really important the weather that is hot, that is really tropical weather, that you can go to the beach whenever you want, that you don't have to deal with snow or things like this. Like based on what you valued is, I think, how you can finally choose where to move, or if you stay in your country. And also how strong you are to deal with maybe not having so many people staying around in the long term when you move. And I say this because of what I just said before. Friends here, especially if they are international, tend to move. Even the local ones, even people from Germany that are, let's say, in a city, they are in, we're gonna put an example. They are in Hamburg and then they found a job in, we're gonna put an example, Stuttgart. They would move, and they move, and this person was your friend, and they will move because they really like, I don't know, care about their job opportunities. So like people are always moving, especially in this side of the world. I think it's more hard in my country, in my side of the world, because like being able even to move is a privilege. A privilege thanks to the universe I have, thanks to my parents I have, but not everyone does have. And I feel like once you also move to another countries, not only knowing and being aware that once you go to this country, like the relationships you have might end up not being there forever, not as a good friendship, but like as literally moving because they want to, I don't know, work in another city or whatever they want to do. But like also considering how once you move, you're not 100% from here, but you're not 100% from there. And people always in each part, like in your country of origin and in your country of like residence where you live now, you're always kind of like a little bit of a stranger, you know, you're kind of a little bit of a like a foreigner. You're like not 100% living the experience of the country because half of your life you haven't lived here, and for the other part, like half of your life you're living in another country. So like kind of like this in between rejection you get. And being aware of all of these things is just like you really have to be committed to what is the purpose and what's the reason of you moving, and being aware that like once you move, a lot of your friends might not end up living where you live, like for real. I also met like another Peruvian girl the other time in the running club. I like running, and I like running clubs because it makes me meet so many people. And this girl is also nice. Actually we had a friend in common. That's so crazy. But then she was telling me how she will end up going back to Peru, which is totally fine. Also I think some things that happened when you move countries, is that in our country, like in Peru, for example, people kind of like can judge you because you come back to your country, and that's so shitty because like it's is as good as staying in the other country as wanting to come back, or as just like staying and not moving anytime, because it's totally valid. Like people value different things in a different way, and it's totally valid. Like I cannot put myself as someone better because I decided to stay here, comparing myself to a Peruvian that wanted to go back, or comparing to a Peruvian that didn't even want to come to other country in the first place. It's different, and I feel people are so dumb for judging others because they would just like to come back to their country and they would like to come back to their family because it's important to them. It's like please, you know. But besides that, it's like what I would advise you to like evaluate when you are in another country. um it's okay, first of all, to start from scratch. Like if you're in a country, you've invested, let's say, 5 years, 10 years, who knows, like you've invested a lot of your time, and because of that you're not moving, but you are super unhappy, and actually you would like to try another city, or you would like to go back to your home country, or you would like to, I don't know, like do something different rather than just stay. I would tell you to not be afraid of starting from scratch. Like if you feel lonely in this country, if you feel miserable, if you feel sad, what quality of life is that? So always like try to do things that at the end will fulfill not only your purpose but your well-being. And I think once you understand that, then you keep going and make the decisions that you make. So if you want to go back to your country, if you want to go to another city and start all over again, do it, because it makes you feel better. And be aware that people, when you move from countries, people will not always be there long term, living there forever. They might move, especially if they are internationals. It happens so much, so often. And you, as a person who moved, if you really value people staying where you are, then consider maybe that it's not so good for you to stay in a country where you kind of feel alone or left out because people moved on with their lives. I say this because I'm now going through this phase of like thinking about how much I value that or not. For example, in my case, I'm really sure that I want to stay here, but I also notice these things, you know. And I say this because I'm very used to, and I'm very very comfortable at spending time with myself, literally, like I love spending time with others because I'm an extrovert. This is weird, but I'm an extrovert. But I also enjoy a lot spending time with myself and be with myself and talking with myself and learning languages and do a lot of stuff and watch movies and just being with myself. I love it. But I've noticed how every time I talk with my friends that I love with my life, at the end we end up saying like maybe they might not stay because of, I don't know, visa purposes, or because they don't find a job, or because, like, you know what I'm saying. And it's not that they don't want to stay, but like things happen. I don't know, wars at their homeland. There are so many things that happened, and you have to be aware that like people who you're friends with here might not live in here forever, and it's something you would have to be comfortable with once you move, besides all the rest that I just said. So with this, what I want to say is like really think about it once you want to move abroad. Like in my case, I don't think it's a decision that I regret because I've always wanted it. But also be aware that it's not easy, you know. It's easier said than done. It's actually, it's been a challenge, as I said, but I love it. Like I loved moving from my country. Like I love my country as well. No, don't get me wrong. I love my country. I love the people there. I love our food, our weather, a lot of things. But for my purpose, for what I want from life, for the goals that I have, for who I am, I really needed to move. Like I really wanted it. And I pictured myself somewhere else but my country. So it's fine if you want to do that, but I know there are a lot of people that are struggling just because there's this narrative in our country, my country, for example. There's this narrative that if you move, it will be the best decision for you and whatever, and you do it because of that, because of the hype, because of what people think moving means or is. It's not worth it. Like, do it really if you want to, and be aware of what you are signing up for, because you also spend a lot of money. You spend a lot of money when you move. So like always keep in mind what you really want from moving, what you really want from like moving from country to country. What do you value in life? What is important to you? The other day I was having a conversation with my best friend, because we always talked about moving from Peru, because I always wanted to. And for sometimes she also wanted that. But since time have passed, things have passed, we've grown, many things have passed, she's more convinced of staying. And I'm convinced of living as I did because I always wanted it. So it's literally okay. And of course, it's a little bit hard because I don't get to see her that often anymore. She's a very not social media person in a way that actually she's an influencer, but like she doesn't like to have relationships or friendships through social media. She needs to see the person or call them. She's like that. And of course it's hard for both now to like keep the frequency of like contact that we had before, but we both understand from each other's side what each of us value more, and it's okay, and it's valid, and that doesn't make her better and that doesn't make me better. You know what I'm saying? So be honest with yourself, like be really honest with yourself when you get to make such a decision like moving from your country. Is like going to a different, like a shock for a different language, for a different community, for a different culture, different system, many different things, different weather, different law. It's like many different things that you really need to be aware of what you're signing for, and it's tough, and you have to be aware of that even when you come from a privileged like family that can help you through the hard times. It's still hard. So that's my advice of the day. I hope you took it right. As I mentioned in my previous episode, if you really want to talk about a specific topic, just tell me, let me know in the comments, let me know through social media. You can find me social media like Natalia Tinedo. That's my name. Yeah, you can even just like tag it, whatever. I don't know, I'll just link it there and you can find it. And I can talk about a specific topic. It's fine. And thank you so much for being until here. And until the next one, enjoy your day, afternoon or night. Enjoy your day, week, or month. I don't know when you're seeing this, when you're listening to this, but thank you so much for staying, and until the next one. Bye bye.